Nazado Jem Brumari.
So now with this offering, one is making an offering of the ornaments and the clothes.
Tene seru kuru no kushit no tsaru ji tene tela chana sonje shonju sambate namla nimburgin sim naza te kado leva joas sonje shonju sambate rabjung number don chimpit number ni yore ti no rabjung number shene yungi te sole kado leva joas rabjung chen loke kado sumri marcha sercha mochaksum desum kajurbi naza chugu teo hindu chuma kanken tene maiba chuma himbo yenke tambasana renda menke di kuna mebi naza tende mbugu yenshi.
So here in the root text it is say that then, so then actually here refers that after actually giving the offering of the bath and then actually drying the body of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then what you do is you would make an offering of the clothings or raiments to the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, and that also depends on then what form the Buddha is in. Usually Buddha forms in two different forms, in the form of the celibacy, that means in Buddha in form of sort of Nirmanakaya form, and Buddha in the form of household, that is Buddha in the form of Sambhogakaya. So if Buddha is in the form of the celibacy, then you would offer clothes which has a suitable colors. Suitable color here refers to three colors mainly that are allowed for the celibates. The light red and the light sort of the yellow and the light blue.
This
others, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are found in the form of the householders. To them, actually, one make offering of the suitable clothings.
Samla, Rejan Jamba, Nazosana Kado Nanzo Yenke, Tesofu.
So this line explains what type of clothes that you offer to the Bodhisattvas is that you will offer the noble or the best type of the clothes, and then you will offer very fine, not thick, fine type of the clothes, smooth, and the variety, which the clothes which bears variety, different kind of the beautiful colors.
So
while making offering these the clothing to the Bodhisattvas, one would actually visualize that actually the numerous Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are seated in front of oneself in the sky, and then one is making these offerings.
That chimbi children in the Jen Puarin, Jen Chu Janda Tedon Tadakis, Jen Lu Jencha Chudu Churba, Ujen Sang, Jen, Gurjen, Lavado, Kundu, Ladu, Kundu, Lasovi, Jen Chudu Churba, Janta, Jantas and Monsi, Jantas. Yaron Koya to Musi Koya Nies, the Mombutanda. They don't tell Aki, then it can be Tulans and Bichonchu Samba. Pavicons are Kandu Zombo, Young Yeton Jusula, Jambaji. Kahia Power Master, Mahom Sons, Mahom Kandu Zondo and Jawantons.
So on top of making offering of the clothes to the Buddha's Bodhisattvas, then one would also make offering of the different kind of the ornaments, like the ornament made of the precious jewels. There are many, the 6 different kind of ornaments, like head ornament, the garland, the neck ornament, then the hand on the armpit, arm ornaments, and then the wrist ornament, and the waist ornament. So these are known as the 6 different kind of ornaments which you make offering to the bodhisattvas like Samantabhadra, Manjushri, and Avalokiteshwari. So, then usually in other root texts, here in this root text we have Pakpa, which is word for actually the Arahats. And in some other texts there instead of Pakpa we have Mapam in Tibetan, that refers to the Maitreya Buddha.
Then Trikim Pupurin. Donsum Kendo Tenga Domba Ye Chicho Namji Tongo Kenjiku. Sergeant Soma Sidor Shevatara is on Barata Chubaji. Donsum Kendo, Donsum Sejulumba Jache Sajri. Lingi, Shevajatambale, Donsum Sri. Donsum Kendo Sana, Donsum Chi Maimba, Donsum Kendo, Donsum Mombo Kendo. Then Donandi Tenkam Kendo. Jenget Domba, Sana Trikimbo Trovi, Trichodu Chova, Zubor Shuya Viteri, Trichodu Churba Namchi, Tubi Wombo, the Sam Shunju Samba, Samson Sonjetcher, Tando said on Chiba Konga Shiva, Ton Genji Guru, the Shugi.
So that then one would also make offering of the fragrant perfumes to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So here it says that actually the perfumes as much as perfumes that can fill the 3,000 world. 3,000 world actually refers to the 100 actually millions of the set of the 4 continents becomes 1,000, and which actually multiplied in 3,000. So 3,000 world means a complete actually form of the universe. So this the fragrant perfume is offered to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
The Sonja Kuzu Kalar Shugin Sana Kuzu Gayante Serjon Soma Sidor Chavata Esham Barvatella Chuberje. Sonja Kuzu de Serzoton Yabo Shega Patav. Then Echam Barasana Vezer Chodenke. The dog Guru Shuberjes.
So what would you do with this the fragrant perfume is actually you will anoint to the body of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Then what type of the body of the Buddhas that you anoint this kind of the perfume? Then it says that a Buddha's body is just as the polished and refined gold. It's shining and radiating like a polished and refined gold. To that type of Buddha's body, I would anoint the fragrant perfume.
Ser Jean Thomas Shedor, Jean Thomas Shedor. He just ended to some yesterday. Thomas and Sir the Chamajoya Taphi Yorsa, Nani Karjan, Tino, Chulo Korcha, and the Korean. Then they say go. They can know which one may proceed. Tell Thomas. Then Johnson, Putodon, Chururadon, Sadon, that's what Chima may proceed yesterday. She looked to my proceed. Shador Shana to the Rinpoche, a word Jabba. Then they shall not say they are would show yours. They shall. Beshaver, they tabu, Kuzu Yawo.
So in the root text actually it says that the refined gold is used as analogy here with the Buddha's body. So what type of the refined gold? Here we have 3 different the terms of words in Tibetan: Jang, Tsoma, and Chidur. 3 different words. So first the word Jang actually when you will actually purify and make sort of polish the gold, then usually what you use is the baking powder, and then one type of the sour herbal medicine along with the salt. So if you mix up these three substances together, and that will become a substance to purify the gold. So that is actually yangwa, that means purifying the gold externally. And then we have a word soma, that means actually there's another method of actually purifying again. That's the method you would put the gold into the container, in one container. Then on top of that container you would put another container upside down, using some kind of the alchemist things. So with these also you purify. That's another way of purifying. And then we have chidor, another way of purifying gold. It's after having done these, then you would rub the gold with the precious jewels of the gold to refine it. So that this is actually what Chidor explains. In some of scholars or even in commentaries, it explains that the tsoma, the second word, actually means that when you refine the gold, you would the melt gold 16 times. The longer you melt it, then the better or the more refined it becomes. So anyway, the gold, because actually in a world the gold is considered as one of the sort of most precious substance. That's why it is used the analogy for the Buddha's body. But actually, it is nowhere that gold can compare with the physical body of the Buddha.
Yidum meto Mandarasana la yuna meto Pemado over Melevier Mayuna Lasova Jema Himbotonge Kado do Yawayanke Yido Yanke Tom Cheton Chima Pele Chima Kayer Rimbochi sent to the Rimbochi Chimado Kundu Jen Wiketa the meto Chima symbol. Medo Kaye Silmashe, Young Kaye Pumbana Chujabatasol, Babala Sutigan Tom Chessy. Chima Pellis and a Medo Chima Bell Labos and a Rimba Deep Laboseva. Rimba Labo Deep Laboseva, Yidon Manamji. Cheers.
So now one would make offering of the variety, different kind of the flowers to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, even as it says in the root text that the munis or the Buddhas who become the worthwhile to make offerings. I would make offering of the mandara, probably this is lily flower, but in a commentaries it says that the mandara, the flower is found in the celestial realms, and then lotus and jasmine flower that is found in the human realm, and which are actually full of the fragrant perfume, and along with these actually just loose type of the flowers, you would also make offering of the well arranged the flower garlands to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
Meto Srimadam, didn't make a long job meto. Didn't meto Kashi Komba Charlson, Kashi meto Chima, those are Pugias.
So while making offering of the flowers, you would imagine or visualize that you are making an offering of the flowers in a loose type, or if, offerings of flowers which are in the containers, huge containers, or you may also visualize that actually flowers will take a form of castles and mentions, and then you would make offering these to the Bodhisattvas.
Dubi, Trensos and Train Peshavali. Train the Namkala Gendundro, Namkala Chatdagi, Tagano again, Boo, Duate, Namkala Yarsong, Namkakunga, Chamno, Jachambo, in the Trenso Shepherd, Trenso Nam John, suggestions some Telno number.
So in similar way, then one would make offering of the incense, incense which has the beautiful sort of the aroma which can steal away your mind, and which can fill the sort of the space, like the clouds fills the space or in the sky, and also the clouds here, it's cluster of clouds is used as analog here, because clouds always actually rises up, goes up, and then clouds fill the sky, the spaces. So in similar way, these the fragrant, the aroma of the incense would permit the space.
Now, Zadung Yabu, Nen Zambotan. That I would like you to just.
Now one would make offering of the delicacies or the delicious foods. So here say that along with the delicious foods of human realm, one would also make offering of the celestial delicacies to the Bodhisattvas.
Hjalse Bekel the injury, Hjalkon as I in the song. Bekel as a Sanskrit gave the hedges. Janderson, Hjalkon as a dream, Hjalse. Kakon. Kakon said, such a like you said, the Slala probably, Lana was south with some in that like you say, they may slashing at something. Jabul Segiri. Jabul probably saying something like you say, yes, never Jabul dress.
Yes, so the little bit description about the word here, the shall say, the first word here in shall say Tibetan. Actually, usually, the shall say means shall is the honorific word for the mouth, shall, and then say is the food which fills the mouth. So this refers to any type of the food which we is available in our human realm. And then there's another word called Hla Shö. Hla is a divine being. Shö is a sort of the ransom which is offered to the divine being. So celestial delicacies. But in some of the commentaries, there are many commentaries. Hla, the meaning of the Hla is taken as the emperor or king. So what does it mean here is any food which is suitable to be offered to the kings, I would offer it to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So anyway, one would imagine that one is actually manifesting the lot of the humanly realm foods and the celestial delicacies. Of course, it must be a vegetarian, and then filling the space that you make offering to.
Tepu, the Malme, Sergi Pema Sadungarva, Yajin German non Jewel. Sell Zubi, so that metal Beman of Zoo. The Sadungas, Mombo, Dread Labor Shepherd, Sadungar, Sadungar. The non less Sergi Pema Mombo Zoo, they always drink tea non less. Then Nundo don't root and remember Rinpoche, Rinpoche, Teta Rinpoche, German non Jewel. Just Mamma, I heard the Rinpoche Tesserina. Rinpoche Yankee.
Now one would make offering of the lamp to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So lamp here, in a festival of the ball, lamp ball itself should be actually imagined that it is made of the gold and in the shape of lotus. And not only one, but there are the tens and thousands of this type of the wall or lamp containers are set in one line, and in which you would make offering of not only the ordinary type of oil and wick, but the oil and wick of the precious jewels one would make offering.
That's how you put it. Sagi Tarwa Buch, but the Remedo you won't Sirmadam. Sagi Tarwasana Khenchen Appey She Titul Boo Chukishu Tit Indo Metu Yidum Sirmamombo Drumne.
So now with the imagination actually you would make offering of the ground or the land itself to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So how you do here is actually you would think that the ground is in a very fine level which is anointed with fragrant perfumes and the aroma. And on which then one would strew, one would just spread the loose flower, beautiful loose flowers, and then one would make this offering to Bodhisattvas.
Kumba Puyarene Yame Podon Tayon Yon de Mutilin Jenchon Zimber, Oya Namki Jencho Tedajon, Tujiron Genchon. Yarme and Chamberon research member, Renon Yadume by in the Yarme Council. Yadu may be Podon. The non le Deba Yon Nimbo Kitaba. You don't want them, but you know, Ladon may Pumola Sobataso, you don't be Deba Shiba. The Reti non Shilo le Mutila Super Rinpoche Genon. Shong Yabi Zebo, Marba Boy and Noki Boy Sanatana Comba Mombo Swinter. Noki Gender said you Comba Mombo take Nanka Kong, Maze Combatel Yavo Nijibo in the Noki Gender Churba. Gender Churba, the Combateso Combate Namchon, 2 G's on Yenchen, on just said on Chapel.
Now one would make offering of the castle or the celestial mansion to the Bodhisattva. So what type of the celestial mansion? Here actually words explains. Yalme means you are making a celestial mansion which is invaluable, which is precious and immeasurable. And then celestial mansion is filled with the offering god and goddesses resounding melodious hymns, and this celestial mansion is exquisitely illuminated by sort of hanging pearls and gems, and that adorns the infinities of the space. So while making these offerings, then one would say that actually the Buddhas with a compassionate mind or compassionate nature, please accept these offerings. 就是讲把的密电产生的。
这个密电些，密电什么东西了？这地空白的，空白它就真的明白。的那些把它空白也什么的记得说呢？现在就记录了声音，空白蒙博那个空着，真的也都是不一样。
If one has sort of any, good or livable, house or building, then one would actually can use these as the object of contemplating, just contemplating on your beautiful house, and then you think that this type of the house will fill the space in a number, and then you make those buildings and houses to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
这几把的每天没头了，我真的同学们，他说每天先没头蒙博也送起来。
So this sort of method is applicable to all the substances. Even if you would see beautiful flowers, and then you can actually say that these beautiful flowers like these and others, and I would make offering.
他恐怕他说没全面数量扩大也加了，他全部了被加了，没全部了，国家加了真的不。
So up to here we dealt with actually offering substances which the substances are useful or required by all type of different people, whether they are high level people or low level people. But from now, the offering substances which are sort of only suitable for the higher levels.
人间都在设计话，真考有人就能把用的，都不话的，都人不起来就比都看得出来，公家人不去慢慢的，人不去忙不也玩意，这人不去都是。你这把有话设计些把样子，设计有话钱，考有了，目的听了说吧，人家能把移动的人吧，一来不。大难度吧，每个大难度吧，是移动啊，大难度吧。这我都要吧，没吧，真吧，见到真吧用，这他不都懂，因为人生来说吧，忙吧，都大的，特别忙吧，那么我就是。
So making offering of now in the first is the parasol. You are making a parasol, which is made of the precious jewel again, and then this parasol has the golden sort of stalk, golden handle, and then the periphery of this parasol, or the rims of this parasol, is actually ornamented or embellished by the exquisite sort of the precious the substances, and the parasol is in a very beautiful shape, beautiful to behold, and it is not lie down or just put on the ground, but parasol is sort of erected. You make actually erected sort of the parasol, and then along with the parasol you would also make offering of the victory banners and so on.
Do chambo chunchu mambo do chiala, then I do chambo tende, yes, there's a mambo nanga kondo pugas.
So while making offering of the parasols, one would visualize that actually there are the variety of the bigger and the smaller the parasols and filling the space.
Dono chumba do chiwa do so bosse tonga mambo yang tre do pura.
In the sutras, actually, it is said that even bigger sort of the parasols, they have a measurement of they stretch at the limit of the thousands furlongs.
Romo Yonghin Yung then something doing a simchibi. Jinam software dangerity. The like Yamas and Hamas, the solid game, Puya Yachever. Chebitu. Romo's get the Sumia Savia some shoe. Then a Kag Boyaji Jalin Tapatin. Then
the melodies actually, the musical instrument. So here actually what we use here in Tibetan is the rolmo. That is the general word for the musical instrument, which can be classified in three different, actually mainly one type of the musical instrument which is blown through the mouth like a flutes or the trumpets, and another type is musical instrument is the sort of actually which can be beaten by hands like a drum set, and then there's the third type of the musical instrument which is actually sort of again actually beaten through two hands like cymbals.
Semje Dunharwa Nama Sem Medevaya Gusu Tobo Yang Tesoke Di Dada Toshuna Sem Simbarse Di Nyoda Semachipa Mebase Tonge Drag Chebi Jens Sana Mombo Tanda Sosok Never Chulu Sonja to Chonchu Samba Tamjeke Nyang Chundu Sosok Never Chulus Sonja Chonsa Tam Chele Tende
So the musical instrument that you are making offering to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas has such a quality that just merely hearing the sound of it actually appeasing the misery of the suffering of the sentient beings, like a physical suffering and the mental agonies. It has the quality to actually sort of appease. And then they come into the actually form of in a huge form like cluster of clouds, and which will remain in front of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in a different set. So a different set here refers to that which will actually please all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas respectively.
Punet Pusa Tesoke Long Shenge Pusa Sonja Chonchu Samba Donna Konzata Sul Pubari. Tande Chede Teso Long Meshek the Chepi Yur Chedan Gozu Sangana Tazol Chepapu.
So after here the one has made a sort of offering to the object who actually utilize the offering which you have made, such as the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And then now actually there would be set of the offerings you would make offering, which is being offered to the object which not actually sort of utilize it, like object being reliquaries, stupas or temples and such and such.
Tomchu Ganchu Tamcha Don Chetan Guzu Laran Chematola Sucher Jam Chaban Babarku. Tombi Chuk and Chusana Chuk and Chuk Tanjiri Levam Tamcha Don Tena Chetan Nando Guzu Sana Sonja to Chonju Semi Guzu Kunyan Tenamla Rimbo Cheton Metodon the Char Rimbochi Char Metoki Char Last of us do Jihimbu Char, Gugi Char, Lasovia, Char, Janma Cheba, Bawaricos, Manam Javara, the Tandari Charpa, we are something.
So now you are making offering here to the stupas and the reliquaries, and you are making an offering to the Buddhas and Bodhisattva images. So how you make this is actually you would think that you are making offering of the fragrant perfumes and incense and clothes to the these supreme objects, and then you would also in the same time you would actually chant that this kind of the offerings would actually descend incessantly towards these the objects.
Then
so up to here we're dealing with offerings which are are known as the manifested offerings, visualized offerings. So among the 6 offerings, so far we have dealt with 4 different kind of the offerings.
Cheba Truganona, Cheba Nat, Lana Yebi Cheba, Cheba Gita, Lana maybe Cheba, Lana Yamesa, Di, Toli Yame, Cheba Pudushimba, Yahu Yima, Gaji, Lana Yebi Cheba, Lana maybe Cheba Jitu Tru.
So up to this level, the offerings that we made actually they're known as the Lana Yepa, means actually they are just comparable sort of the offerings and common offerings. And now the offerings which we would actually offer are known as the Lana Mepa, incomparable or the inconceivable sort of the offering, to which there is no other sort of examples.
Chitang Yang La Sube, Javan Chen, taking dog, taking King Gambo Selon Che. Lana maybe Cheba, there's such Jewish on Jutsamban, Puvi Cheba Swing. Such Jewish on Jutsambat as Oga Cheba Puyate, Cheba Lenchi Puna. Sa Goa Manchek on Jut Sembe Kuncho Kusele, ring the Cheba Puole, such Jewish on Jutsambe, Cheba Sarchi Puna, the Cheba, the son of Cheoya.
So generally, the incomparable the offerings are actually the offerings made by the Bodhisattvas on the 10th level of the ground of Bhumi. So it is said in Sutra that the one time actually making offering by the Bodhisattvas who are in the 10th level of the Bhumi are far more greater than the other Bodhisattvas who are below the 9th level Bhumi, who would make an offering in their whole lifetime.
Take a dinner Bena method of Chipuna Nanka Chamno method. That type of method don't really think though Nanka Chapi method of the Shalok Tin as a true. Tell a true Cheta to Sotoya. They are no here do Johnson also do the linky chapter one of the
The Sachuba Chanchu Simbatinju. So the Bodhisattvas in the 10th level of Bhumi, actually when they make offerings, of course through their sort of the powerful or the means, they just through the hands and showing hands and radiating lights of the infinite light of the offerings, offering substances, and then that offering substances which fill actually the whole space and which is actually offered to the object of the offering, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
Then that Tsumba Jinju Pugin Chabri. The Jesu Nona, they don't chant us. They so can they Pugin, the Cheba Pugin.
So here actually with this verse actually it's explained that we just make offering resembling sort of the offering which the 10 level Bhumi Bodhisattvas actually does. Bodhisattva do.
Pechetan Jambi Yondo Shambangambola Sube Sachubi Shonchu Sambate Namji, Jawan Namla, Cheba Kanda Zagiana, then no yin, doggy, the yin hip and gambo, said Shonchu Sambadon Chebanam, Cheba Pugish.
So just as the Manjushuris and other bodhisattvas were in a 10th level bhumi, they make offering to the jinas or the supreme enlightenment being. In a similar way, I will make offering to the Tathagatas and protect Lord along with the Buddhas, other actually Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
The Shonchu Sambi Cheba Peshe at the Gachamber, so Yawu Pumakina, then no Kanda Pugiana, Teganongi Pugia, some Cheba Puna, Cheba Yawaji Chonto.
So the offerings made by the bodhisattvas, are being used as a sort of example for oneself is kind of very valuable and important, because though one may not actually make offerings, the good offerings, but one would always think or say that whatever way the bodhisattvas did, I would do.
That Cheba Trubare, Kurti Cheba Sangi, Kurti, Shidon Puyatele, Tere, Niepatum, Kurti Ni. Niebasana, Lonche Prua. Then Kurtisana, Kuyab Hubert, the Lonche Prua, the Konakebi, Cheba Navotekari, Cheta Mobu Puyata, that's all Niepi Chepas. Kurti Cheba Sangi, they say, Teba Puyato, Shansarva Nimbul, Kurti Sege, Tujanias on Yekurset, Niebasana Lonche, Kurtisana, Kuyab Hubert. Cheza, they yanchek about the Niepi Cheba Pune, Ta Kurti Cheba Nimbo Puya.
So generally there are two different type of the offerings, actually offering. One offering, which category of the offering is known as the Nyepe Chepa in Tibetan, that means actually the offering of the sort of the substance that you obtained. And then another category is Kurti Chepa, that means the offering of the reverence, offering of the veneration. So up to here, this level, the level of the just fifth offering, it is related with the offering of the substance which you obtain. And then now, with this sixth offering, it explains the offering of the veneration. So veneration also, there are two different kinds of venerations, like venerate through praising someone, and venerate someone through making prostration.
Cheba said, two Nyaji in the Cheba says. Just a good day on Cheba Chobi.
So generally the offering actually means that thing through which one can actually appease the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So because of that reason, the veneration, sort of the reverential offering becomes an offering.
Yanten Johnson Namla, Dion Yanla Johnson, Dion Yententera, and Neighbor Continue. Yanten Mandava Mombo Yata, Jamso Chevali. Yanten Jamso Tavi, Sonja Chonchu Sambat Namla, Dog Debasi years, they want Debbie Yong. Yan Larson Yong Jishera, Mandava Mombo Yata, Jamso Tav, Deba Puvi years, Debbie Yong Yambo. Chen San Chen on the Mombo, the Sonja Chonchu Samba, the dog in Yanlam do, never in you and do come to you and the church.
So with this verse, then one is making an offering of the respect, as it says that to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who are endowed with the ocean of the qualities, I make offering of the harmonious praise which is measured, can be measured as the ocean, as big as the ocean. And at the same time, I would also please the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas with the saying or chanting numerous gentle eulogy, constantly, actually, sort of without interruption. Okay, shall we stop here today? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yesterday, Rinpoche having said that actually you should do a prostration for in order to purify the defilements. But actually, for you as a beginner, Rinpoche says that beginner, if you find it very difficult, it's not necessary to prostrate. It may be a little bit actually sort of taxing or hard work for you. You can just say, I prostrate or I bow down from your, verbally. That should be sufficient.
Tada shungchu tsangpi dambi choga nendo yangla denpa tong lojong ni res ti nong tongbo yangla denpa yangla jeba khe.
So as for the preparation of the actual text of the Bodhisattvacaryāvatāra, there are two classifications, 7 limb and then mind tending purification. So we're dealing with the 7 limb practice.
Tinong tongbo cheba khebika cheba le zhu yao de tinong le cheba nga de khe ta yao res ta zhu ba kulti cheba sam de khe kulti cheba khebika bi.
So among the 7 limb practice, as we are dealing with the first, the 7 limb, that is the making offering, and an offering also there are 6 different types of offering. So far we have dealt with the sort of the 5 the different kind of the offerings already, and then 6 being the making a sort of veneration or saying a praise to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
Kulti cheba le teba dong shansarwa yin here kazong teba kheba yin tadrin shansarwa.
As far as concerning with the veneration offering also, there's 2 categories. One, the veneration through your physical body, making a prostration. Another veneration is through saying or giving up praise through your verbal.
Shansarwa de sache surba chena ri yangla denpa chedu. Me chebi kongsu duga na jigetsu. Yangla den rona surtu shekhu. Chesa shansarwa de cheba re de yangla den rona surtu shekhu.
So the making of prostration actually is they can be considered as one part of the offering, but it can also actually can be taken as a separate sort of entirety within the 8 limbs, because they are the system of counting 8 limbs. So that's prostration, making a prostration, one of them.
Dusum kepi sonje ken cholon tsuji chochela hindur geni zhonghen ji lu de ben da shan tas da shan ta ge yin xie ba le su le shan ta sana du sun du hebi sonje ken dong chu dong tsuji chu sana gen nan de dong jie ba de gen chu sum la tena shan cawa bona hindur geni hin sanan jitenji kam tom jege dunchen ge chongka khasaya ba di chongni zana chong chechi lu mombo ye samne gu do dong jebe gonan changsa wi
So the verse here explains that how one would make prostration towards the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, that one will prostrate with the very respectful manner and manifesting oneself in the sort of numerous as the number of the atoms you find in the earth. One manifests one's body and then make prostration towards the three Buddhas of the three times and the Dhamma and the Supreme community. So here in the verse it says that actually I bow down to the three-time Tathagata. So three-time Tathagata actually refers to the past Buddha Kanaka Muni, the past Buddha Kashyapa, and then the present Buddha Shakyamuni. Though Shakyamuni is not existing, but his teaching is still existing. And then the future Buddha Maitreya.
Chojichu sana ganale choba shir choba mambo yerete dino no yashu insa soin chojichu.
So one is also making prostration towards the supreme community here. That's a sort of literal direct translation from Tibetan. Tsogchen Chok is a community, though there are different kind of the communities, but the Sangha are the sort of the most supreme type of community. That's why they are called Tsogchen Chok or supreme community.
Lu mambo shegoya de lu kasa monga tazar sanam chewa yinza shwa mambo lo yinza de mambo truwe yore.
So while making the prostration, one will also manifest one's body into the numerous numbers of the atoms you find in the earth. That's the more actually numbers of the physical body you make prostration, more merit you gain.
Now getting time just on the shonshu samba konsha yuye. The Nando Sanche Tam Jack Shonsa. Some generation to Lu Mombosh and Shonsa Yazanguit.
So in the course of making prostration, one would also visualize that in front of oneself in the sky, in the space which is filled with the supreme beings like Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and in front of them, and then you are just making a prostration along with all the sentient beings, repeating whatever you are doing, and also manifesting one's body in the numerous number as the atoms in earth.
Thousands of the Tombo Havan Castle didn't tap no candu. The deal so some the Nile can do some of them say. Then you all talk to do. They say go and only say, Penachant and Rabina. Then Shanta tell her, Shanta can it go. Yamne say go him.
So for the practice actually the study is sort of the important, so one must do the study. So the means and the method how you should actually engage yourself in studies: first listen from the sort of suitable teacher, then after having received the teaching or listened to the teacher, you would actually just go through the book or refer the book, and then you would see that how much you have learned from the book or how much you have actually understood from the book, and then by the teaching given by your teacher, and after having confirmed that you have learned something or you know actually how to practice, then you should engage into the actual practice. So generally the practice could be considered as three types. So the first practice is of course the study. Before doing anything you should actually study and learn what you have to do. And then after that you need to contemplate on the meaning on the word subject you have studied. And then finally then you would actually put that the knowledge which you have gained into the practice.
The Khenchen Mumala Chansa, that Khenchen Yen Hampa, Khenchen Jesus Temple, Khenchen Junin, Tenon Chansa, Shonju Samji Yinamdo, Chetan on a dog chanter, Campbell taking Lavando, Turgut Nella, Chola chanter. Shonju Samji, he said to Kuzula, the Shonju Sam Rong Jola Sevi. Yinta. The Kundana Chonchu Samsi Choa Chana, Chonchu Sam Ronga Tovala Penduchi, just as Chonchu Samti Ye, Samsi Sevi Ye, Kuzu, Kaya Levam Sumbrius. Then Chetan Namla Dog Shanta. The so Kanchu Gloom, the Kanchu Jen Ember, Konga, Campbell's and Damba Bunke. Taken to Florence and Chu Longue, Campbell Lovan Mena, Turu Chola, Turu Sana, Suchum, Yona, Gavalan Bets and Sheba, Gavalan Bets and Chimbuchi, Gange, consulted Tamjela, John Savians.
So up to here, we have been dealing with making prostration towards the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in their real form, in a human form. And now we would deal with making prostration to the object of veneration who are seemingly actually sort of having a quality of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They are not real, but they have a sort of corresponding quality resemble to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas like stupas or reliquaries and temples. So here in the verse, it says that actually I would make prostration to the basis of the enlightenment thought. So basis of enlightenment thought here refers to the stupas and reliquaries because of them that actually fact arises in your mind, and then because of that reason that enlightenment thought also arises in your mind. So they are known as the basis of enlightenment thought. In a similar way, you would make prostration to the abbots from whom you receive ordination or vow, and the masters, the teachers from you receive the teachings or instructions, and through the noble practitioners, those who engage into the perfect type of practices. So usually the practitioners during the preliminary practice, what they do a lot of prostrations, actually 100,000 times prostrations. So during that time also one should actually visualize that actually in front of oneself there is a numerous number of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and then one is making prostration to them with a respectful sort of set of mind, in order to attain enlightenment for sake of all sentient beings. So one would think that what is the actually purpose of making offering and making prostration? So the true making offering to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, that will purify your sort of the miserliness or avarice, thought of avarice, not being able to give actually things to others. And then through making prostration, that will purifies, that help purifying the anger or the arrogant type of mind.
Jamdo Suyarina, Jamdo Te Yanla Dang Tultina Yanla Diachana Digi, to Matsi Sudu Shana Digi, Shonjun Himbur Chichi, but the Sonja Nana Japsi, Chudon, Shonju Samba, Solan, taking just just. At Jamdo Kegres.
So here onward, now we will deal with refuge, the taking refuge.
Jamdo the Yanla Dang Tuli Gogona, Yanla Jabasi Chuki. Tell me Yanla then says Jamdo Sudushan on to
so one can take refuge in either form. In either form means they can be taken within the seven limb practice, or they can be taken as a sort of different entity from the seven limb practice.
Jamdo sing the Tanda Kalsana, Gile Kangashu, Kianhonshu, the Kangas Sosu said Madone, then a Kangas said Tunkengi, Nuayan, Jigle.